How's your popsicle?
It's pretty good. Not as good as Raid Shadow Legends. Today's video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
In today's video, we are revisiting a past project that you guys really loved. Can we cast a human body part in candy? Guys, we've got more stuff for silicone molds. In the past, we actually made a mold of Nate's foot. Once you start melting down Jolly Ranchers, it tends to slump. It sort of changes the composition a little bit. Given the fact that that's been there for a couple of months now, and now Nate's just a ballerina who had his foot bound from birth. We're not doing feet today. Today we're going to do my hand, and I'm very excited to see how that's just gonna, after a couple of months.
Watch it just melt apart.
I end up with claws. Here's the basic idea. We recently molded Nate's foot in silicone and then we cast it in Jolly Ranchers. Today it's my turn. Let's see if we can make a mold and then cast my hand in Jolly Ranchers.
Our methodology is going to be pretty much the same thing. We're going to build a box that you can rest your hand in. And I think we're kind of going for part way up the forearm. We'll mix up a bunch of silicone, kick it a little too much. Kick means add catalyst. We're gonna add a little bit too much catalyst so it goes a little bit faster than normal.
It will catalyze. When we say kick, that's when the catalyzation process starts. We want it to start early. This is red catalyst. The studio that I buy this from is the same studio that Nate and I used to work for.
Yeah, we've got like a gallon here. And that should be good enough to make a good hand mold. We are gonna, I think, try and make it fairly precise around your hand so that we aren't wasting silicone because a box mold is a very quick and easy way. It's not an efficient way in terms of silicone. You waste a lot of silicone, but it takes way too much time and effort to do another kind. So we are gonna do that.
Honestly, the best sort of mold to use for this sort of process to waste the least amount of silicone would be what's called, ironically, a glove mold. You would cover the hand entirely, or you would cover whatever object it is that you're molding entirely, but you would paint layers onto it, layers onto it, layers onto it, and then cut up one side, and then you're able to peel the whole thing off. And then the mold ends up being about that thick. However, that wouldn't work today anyways because we need the whole mold to be solid so it holds its shape when we pour in molten candy. So we're gonna waste some silicone, but we're gonna have a lot of fun doing it. If you're ever building a box with foam core, if you're ever just trying to put a maquette or anything like that together with this sort of stuff, don't cut all of the pieces individually if you're just trying to build walls. Check this out. All we did is score one side, and then you can just bend it around, just like that. So then he'll hold it there, and then what I'm gonna do is I'll reinforce the edges. So yes, we are getting these gaps right here, but it's actually still more strong because on the inside, there's no hole in that crease. So all I have to do is come in here with just a line of hot glue and it will reinforce it. Much faster, much stronger. Okay, so I'm going to have my hand in this. When we molded Nate's foot, he was actually here as well, but we had the TV here at the time, so he watched a movie. I will be playing Raid Shadow Legends. The last thing I want is a bubble. Also, that is the coolest feeling. When you pour silicone, you want as thin a stream as possible. Now, what that means, depending on what you're trying to mold, if it's a tiny actual thin stream or this beautiful ribbon stream that Nate has going on here, that minimizes your chance of bubbles in the mold itself. There's very little that I could compare this feeling to.
While Calli is stuck here with her arm and a bunch of silicone, we're going to talk to you a little bit about today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a massive multiplayer online role-playing game that takes you into a world of dark fantasy and realism. There are tons of different champions you can collect. As you go through the game, you get more and more champions. They're bigger and better and stronger, and you can upgrade the ones you already have. You build your team, and then as you travel through the world, you fight progressively stronger and cooler bad guys.
Guys, there are so many different game modes. You've got the arena, you can do campaigns, you can do dungeons. I'm in the middle of basically a dungeon crawl right now. But you can fight against different bosses and win new artifacts, which will help your characters get stronger.
I really like the variety. You don't have to just stick with like one champion and run them through the whole time. Because you're getting new guys all the time, you can just make your army the way you want it.
It's pretty fun. I mean, if you're tired of the fluffy little, playing games that don't really have a payoff, Raid Shadow Legends is for you.
Right now there's content that gamers can claim, and it is free for Amazon Prime subscribers.
So log into Raid Shadow Legends now, sign up before March 22nd, and you can claim actually 3 Void Shards and 4 Superior Void Potions.
Time is running out before this ends in April, but the last drop is coming soon with 6 6-star legendary attack artifacts.
And 3-day XP boosts. Guys, claim your loot today for Amazon Prime members only. You're almost out of time, so go claim your loot now by installing the game from my link.
So to download Raid and claim the special bonus, head down to the description and click the special links. If you're a new player, you'll get a bonus of 100,000 silver and a bonus champion, Hexweaver.
Guys, these rewards will only be available for 30 days, so head on down, click the link, and download today. So Nate went home for the day. We're gonna have to finish this tomorrow, but I think we're good to go. So now I have to get myself out of this prison that Nate had me taped into, which I asked for so I wouldn't move my hand too much. Aha, wait, oh, there we go. Okay, now the question is, how do I get myself out of this? If I were able to touch this and the indent stayed for even a fraction of a second, you would not want to start demolding. This is good to go. So first thing I'm gonna do is start cutting off the sides. That is nowhere near my skin, so a little bit less worried about that. I don't even need to. Let's see, that's where the hot glue is. We'll try that way. Ha! Thank you. Yes! Woo! All right, we have got a mold. I'm checking for weak points. So if my hand had gone anywhere too near the sides, we would have, you can kind of see right here, this is a weak point. So that means that the silicone isn't really all that thick. Normally, that's not a big deal. If you're making a mold, say, to cast a statue, what you cover it with then is plaster and what we call nests, which are little nests of hemp rope. And that solidifies and secures everything in place. So long as everything is at least, I mean, honestly, you can get away with 1/4 of an inch, but for strength, I would have preferred about 1/2 inch. So roughly a centimeter. And honestly, I think we did it.
Looks like a pretty good hand mold.
Hopefully.
So now we gotta melt down a bunch of Jolly Ranchers and fill that. So we're back to our old favorite activity, unwrapping Jolly Ranchers.
The important part here is to not double layer so you don't end up with these big glumps that you see. Melt a little bit at a time, and it doesn't take that long, so be patient, keep melting. So I just did a radar reading on this. This is roughly 300 degrees right now, which is why we're being so careful. Guys, that's one of the few scars Nate has gotten from this job, is he has a mark from when he was trying to do like a slush casting of the Iron Man helmet. If you're doing this at home, be very careful. This stuff will hurt you. It's been 18
I think it's solid.
hours.
I think it's cooled down.
So the idea now is that we are going to attempt to pull this off. What the, I like that.
I'm just demolding some of our other extras. We've got some Yodas, some R2s, D2. So we tried using a little bit of purple and placing it carefully on Yoda's eyes.
It worked! He looked...
Kind of.
It worked!
Mostly.
When we did this, Nate said, are we taking bets on how well it worked? And I won it. I did it.
If by winning you mean his iris is firmly on his eyelid, it's like 90%. which is way better than I thought. I thought we were gonna get like 4%. I thought the purple parts were gonna like flow and float and just not even be there. So this worked way better than I thought.
This is called backtracking. He insulted me, so now he's backtracking.
Oh, it still didn't work. It just worked way better than I thought.
I'm sorry, that was loud. Not for you guys, probably for Nate and Mark, whose ears are within 2 feet of me.
Hang on, I want to hold your hand.
We've done a lot of things on this channel that I'm proud of, but this is, and it shouldn't be, one of my favorites.
Callie, I just want to try. I'm going to start at the back of the arm.
I can never flip you off again. Are you licking my finger? I didn't lick your toe.
Look, that was your choice.
Cool. Nate, can you make a hand out of Jolly Ranchers?
I think we did.
Yes, you can. We have successfully molded body parts. What body part would you like to see molded next? Appropriate body parts. And yes, if you say anything bad, it will be deleted. Either by the Autobot or by me.
Roll out.
Don't do it.
Thanks again to our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. To get playing now, go ahead and click the link in the description to download the game today.
Guys, that's not all. You know we've always got more for you to see. Hit that box up at the top for our most recent video, and we'll see you in the next one. Talk to you then.